Juan Mendez Scott's Mystery Magazine.
Chapter 1. My Little Slice of Paradise. I pulled up to the dental school in Laurel, Maryland, feeling happy for my friend Samira, who was about to graduate and become a dental assistant. As I saw her walking out of the building, I couldn't help but feel proud of her for sticking to her goals. So I got out of my BMW SUV, ran and met her as she exited the building with a big hug. "Hey girl, congratulations, I'm so proud of you," I said with a big smile as I hugged her tightly. "Thank you. I couldn't have done it without your support, girl," Samira said, her eyes filled with gratitude. "Your support, as usual. Always there for me." As we walked to my truck, I couldn't help but notice the cloudy and gloomy weather. The sky was dark and the air was heavy with the smell of rain. "So, how does it feel to be graduating next week?" I asked. "It feels amazing. I can't believe I made it." "Finally," Samira said, excitement evident. As we talked, the sky grew darker and the rain started to pour down. We ran to my truck and I immediately turned on the windshield wipers. "I can't believe this weather today," I said, shaking my head. "It's like the sky is crying for some reason." "I know," Samira said, "and I knew it was going to rain, and I still forgot my umbrella." "Well, you can best bet. We're not letting any rain in here." Samira laughed and nodded in agreement. As we drove through the rain, I kept telling her how proud I was of her. Her dedication and hard work were inspiring, and I knew that she was going to do great things in her career. As we approached her townhouse on Bailey's Pond Road, Accokeek, Maryland, I pulled up to the curb and turned off the engine. The ink had barely dried on the pages of my debut romance novel, If I Was Yours, when the whirlwind started. Thousands of copies sold like wildfire, and before I knew it, Essence magazine was calling me up for a feature. Yeah, I was riding high, snuggled in the clouds of my newfound success. With the muse kissing my thoughts, I was deep into weaving the tangled love and mystery of my second novel. So I did what any self-respecting, newly successful novelist would do. I treated myself. Bought a cozy 3-room houseboat docked in Fort Washington, Maryland, right at the Alicia Tantalon Marina on Swan Creek Road. My little haven on the water? Oh, it had more in common with those chic townhouses lining the streets of downtown Old Town Alexandria than it did with any old boat, and I absolutely adored it. Every nook and cranny of its unique charm. You could say I robbed the idea from a guy I used to see, a fellow author who spun detective tales that could keep you up at night. He had this knack for living differently, and his home on the waves at the same marina had caught my eye and, admittedly, my heart. But what I settled into wasn't just any houseboat. Nah, it was what you'd call a floating home. Picture this: a cozy, stylish abode that sways gently with the rhythm of Swan Creek. Every creak and groan of its structure, a whisper of stories waiting to be told. My floating home was a sanctuary, a muse, and a statement all rolled into one. My little slice of paradise floated gently on the waters of Swan Creek, whispering tales of old and new into my nights and days, leading my thoughts out into the vast, open arms of the Potomac River. And Samira? She was just a stone's throw away, really. If the mood caught me, and the Indian Head Highway decided to be kind, a rare occurrence given its notorious reputation as one of America's deadliest roads, I could find myself at her doorstep in anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes. That stretch of road, with its history of whispers and warnings, seemed a world away from the tranquil flow of Swan Creek. Yet, it tied me to Samira, a lifeline of sorts in the tangled web of roads and rivers that defined our corner of the world. Samira, bless her, never made a fuss about hitching an Uber, hopping on a bus, or sliding through the city veins via subway from Accokeek to Laurel. But me? I jumped at any chance to give my bestie a ride home, weaving through the city's heartbeat, sharing stories and dreams between the start and stop of traffic lights. It wasn't just about the ride, though. My literary agent, Stacy Woods, had planted herself in this sprawling mansion on Church Road in Bowie, Maryland, mere whispers away from Laurel. It made those little detours with Samira all the more convenient, turning routine drives into mini adventures across the patchwork of Maryland's roads, all while the world of my next novel brewed vividly in my mind. "Thanks for the ride, Tameka," Samira said, giving me a warm hug, begging me to take gas money that I refused over and over again. "Anytime, girl. Congratulations again, and keep reaching for the stars," I said, smiling at her. As Donnie Simpson would always say. Samira laughed. "The green-eyed bandit is always right. Call me later when you get a chance." "I sure will." I watched her walk up the driveway to her house, feeling a sense of pride and happiness. The rain had started to lighten up, and the clouds were clearing. It was like the weather was reflecting the hope and promise of Samira's future. I couldn't wait to see what she was going to accomplish next.
On the next episode of Juan Mendez Scott's Mystery Magazine, Chapter 2, To Carve Our Paths,